We're live. We are live on another Wednesday. I've been doing this actually, I realized, since April, which is pretty awesome. I don't think I've missed more than a week or two. So it's fantastic. And I have another fantastic recipe for everybody. Another really quick, delicious one. And very traditional, so I'm excited. Hello, Dad. My family's always watching and supporting me. I love it. Fantastic. So we will go ahead and get started. I know some people will join later, but this is going to be a video that will be posted on YouTube on the channel later, and I'll put all the ingredients below. So this recipe today is another cauliflower recipe. Cauliflower is awesome because it has a ton of vitamin C, and it also has a ton of fiber, which fills you up. And actually, I've always noticed when we make sort of like cauliflower wings or cauliflower bites, they're super filling. So this is a great recipe for that. And it also has walnuts. So what could possibly be walnuts and cauliflower? It is another faux meat crumble. So this is for people who are looking for sort of a meat crumble that you can use for tacos. This one that I'm going to show you today is for pasta, so you can make a bolognese sauce, and it's going to be so delicious. So the ingredients that you need for this one are walnuts, and you'll also need cauliflower. I'm making a half recipe today, so this is actually half of a head of cauliflower. It looks like a lot, but basically half a head. Of course, nutritional yeast, which I'm almost out of, which is terrifying. And then garlic powder, onion powder. And we've got our tamari, like also in everything, like the nutritional yeast. We've got our red wine vinegar. And this is a bit of a more rare ingredient. I can't remember if I've used this in a demo before, but this is liquid smoke. And you can get this in pretty much any grocery store, sort of in the barbecue sauce aisle. So you're going to need some of that. And then I might use a little bit of oil. And then we've got some smoked paprika. And then you're going to need whatever you're going to put the meat crumble on. So pasta or tacos, whatever you want. But this time I'm doing some pasta with a sweet basil marinara. So this is PC brand. It's very delicious. So we are going to cook today a faux meat crumble out of cauliflower and walnut. So let's get started, and I'll point everything down. You'll also need a mini food processor. But if you have a full processor, that's fine. If you have a bullet blender, you can do it in small batches. Or if you have none of that stuff, you can chop it up yourself with a knife and a cutting board. So let's make our faux meat bolognese meat crumble. So we have our processor. So I have to do this in batches because I have a really small processor. So we'll just do that real quick. So you want to break up the cauliflower so it can fit in. And this recipe that I'm making right now physically is probably have more cauliflower than you need, but it still tastes good with the sauce. So you can use as little or as much cauliflower as you want. So let's chop that up. So what you're looking for is a sort of crumbly texture, sort of like as if it was ground beef mixed up. So that's what you're looking for. And this is also the easiest way, like that just took me 2 seconds. If you're interested in making cauliflower rice, just do that. And you can sort of fry it up in a pan a little bit to get the water out, and then you have cauliflower rice. So we'll do our second batch in there. So if you have a big food processor, put all the cauliflower in at the same time, and you can actually put the walnuts in at the same time. There we go. But I have to do mine in 2 batches because I have a teeny tiny one. But even this teeny tiny one was super cheap, and it like chops everything for us. So that's a pretty good texture there. So we'll scrape this all out. Actually, I'll scrape a little bit of it out because we're going to do our walnuts next. So the walnuts go in after that. So we've got about half a head of cauliflower. You can double this recipe if you want. And then this is about half a cup of walnut pieces. And for some reason, the walnut pieces are cheaper, so I just buy those. Oops. There we go. Yeah, I see a comment there about getting the cauliflower texture. This is the secret. Like, this is the greatest thing. It's way easier than trying to put it through a cheese shredder or whatever. This is amazing. Okay, so let's do our half a cup of walnuts. So same thing, you're looking for the same sort of size and texture. You got to be careful with the walnuts because they are fatty because it's a nut, and if you grind them too much, it'll turn into like a butter. So you don't want that. You want some crumble. And walnuts are really awesome. They're supposed to be very good for brain health because they have lots of omega-3s in them, which are important. And then they're like a healthy fat that you can eat. And in this recipe, between the texture and the savoriness and the fat in the walnuts and the cauliflower, you're going to get, once you cook this up, you'll get a really awesome texture out of it. Great. So then we have all of our pieces. And if you have some big chunks in there, it doesn't matter. The cauliflower will reduce like a little bit when you bake it, so that's fine. So you cook that in. So if you have less cauliflower, you'll just have a higher ratio of walnuts, and that's totally fine. So you mix that up. And now what we're going to do is add our dry ingredients. So another thing about this is if you have a huge food processor, you can put the cauliflower, the walnuts, and all the seasonings just right in the food processor and whiz it up. You don't have to do batches and mix it. Just put everything in the food processor if you have a full-size one, which makes this recipe even easier. So let's do we're going to put our dry right on here. So this is 1/8 of a cup of nutritional yeast. And the mixture is a bit wet, so another tip is to like spread it around when you sprinkle it on so that it gets everywhere. And then we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of the garlic and onion powder. Again, let's spread it around. This is our garlic. Spread it around. And then I'm going to do a little bit of salt and lots of pepper. I like lots of pepper. So you can do that to your liking. So once you have all the dry ingredients, one more left, some smoked paprika. So I just do a couple of dashes. And then if you were doing a taco flavored meat, this is where I would put your taco seasonings in with the dry. If you're doing this for pasta, you could even put Italian spices if you want, but I like it just like this. So get all those dry ingredients really mixed around. So that's pretty well incorporated. And now we are going to do the wet ingredients. So I'm just going to get a little bowl. And then we're going to take our tamari. You can also use soy sauce. I just like the flavor of tamari better, but soy sauce is fine. And that's going to be 1 tablespoon. So 1 tablespoon of tamari or soy sauce. And then we have our red wine vinegar, which is 1 teaspoon. So that goes in there. And then we have our liquid smoke. So that's supposed to be 1/2 teaspoon, but if you just do a couple of shakes, it's totally fine. Oh, and if you joined late, I saw someone's asking what we're making. We're making a faux meat crumble with walnuts and cauliflower. So we've whizzed down the cauliflower and walnuts. We've added our dry seasonings. I'll put the full recipe below. And now we have our liquid. So it's not too much liquid. You don't want it wet. And the cauliflower is going to have moisture in it as well. So don't worry about this getting dry. Now we have tamari, red wine vinegar, and liquid smoke. And I am going to put a little bit of oil in it, just a couple of sprays to help it not stick to the cookie sheet. So not too much. You can probably leave that out if you want. And then we'll mix it. And then again, same thing, just to make it easier to distribute, you want to just drizzle it around. There we go. So let's mix that up. I'll show you guys closer. So you can see we have that sort of meat crumble texture. The sizes are there. And now we're seasoning it up. Mix it pretty well. Make sure everything gets mixed. And the best part about cooking vegan food is you can taste test it when it's raw. Yep. So that's pretty good. I think the salt and pepper are just fine. And actually, you know what? If you were trying to like specifically eat a raw vegan diet, you could probably just eat it just like this on some like raw zucchini noodles with pasta sauce. Would be a delicious raw meal. And you wouldn't even have to cook it. So we've got that. And then what we're going to do is put it, so you want to do some parchment paper. You can put a little bit of oil on it, but honestly it won't stick that bad. I think I got enough oil in the mixture. So we're just going to put that in. And then you want to spread it around. This is a half recipe and it fills the whole tray. But if you wanted to make more, you would use your whole head of cauliflower and a full cup of the walnuts. But I'll put the full recipe later when I edit the video. You can have that. So then you want to break it up a bit so that it can cook all the way around. So that's it. That is all. That is it. That's all the prep work done. So that's a super quick one. So very easy to make. You can even prep it and then bake it later. You can eat it raw. You can season it with taco seasonings. You can use it for bolognese. So we have that there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bake it at 375 for 20 to 30 minutes. So that's going to be on your preference because I like putting it in for 30 minutes because it kind of, some of it gets a little charred and it's got that really nice sort of sauteed crumble texture. So you're going to throw that in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes on 375. And then it comes out like this. So that is like a really amazing texture. It's got the color that you're looking for. And then again, the texture is coming from the soft cauliflower and then the nuts are going to soften up as well. And then you've got that amazing taste. So let's give it a taste. That's really good. So you got that really savory note from the nuts and the nutritional yeast and all the seasonings. And then the texture is bang on. Again, I like to get mine a little bit well done. So that's amazing. And for me tonight, I'm doing a little pasta with marinara sauce. But you can make your own dressing. You could even put this on an Alfredo sauce if you want. It would be amazing. So it's $3.25 for 20, $3.75 for 20 to 30 minutes. $3.75, 20 to 30 minutes. So let's just put this on here in our marinara sauce. You can also put this right in the marinara sauce, like when you're cooking the pasta sauce, but you can just throw it on top as well. So let's mix it in. I love this marinara sauce from PC. It's so good. All right. Let's see. That combo, like bolognese combo with like the smoky meat flavor and the marinara is so good. Because when you're having a meal, you want to get all the taste sensations that you have on your tongue. And that's what makes something taste good. So if you're ever making a recipe or you're evaluating a recipe, or you're cooking a meal and you're not getting like the really good flavor that you want, make sure that you have all five. So one of them is sweet. So we're getting that out of the pasta sauce. There's salty and savory, which are two different things. So obviously we have lots of salty stuff in here. And the savory, which is called umami, is that like savory flavor that's not salty. So we're getting that out of the nutritional yeast and the nuts. And we're getting like that fat mouthfeel from the nuts. And then you want something sour and something bitter. So we're getting that a little bit out of the pasta sauce, is very tart, and the vinegar and the flavors. So we've hit all our flavor combinations, which is what makes this amazing. So that's it, guys. Like, really short one. I love showing people that cooking vegan food is super easy and delicious. And this recipe definitely hits the bill for that one. So give it a try. Hit the thumbs up on my video here, whatever side it's on. And encourage all your friends to subscribe and click notification bell for my channel. That would be amazing. I'm going to put more sauce and crumble on this and eat it all. It's going to be good. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks always for your support. It's so much fun doing this every week, and I've been doing it since April, and that feels really cool. So thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. Hope the sun is out where you are.